Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and welcome back to the New Orleans Kings franchise, sitting here kind of a little over a third of the way through the season. 24-38, last in the division, 16 games back. I mean, our objective this year was to rebuild, not to make the playoffs. But let's just look at the other teams here around the MLB. In the AL West, it looks like the Angels are taking our division so far. We'll see if that can hold up. In the East, the Braves are ahead by a half game on the Nationals. Looks like the Reds leading the NL Central 38-25. Maybe a little bit of a surprise there, maybe not. The Dodgers, no surprise here. They will run away with that division probably for a few years coming. And then looking at the AL East, though, the Blue Jays on top of the Yankees by 2 games. In the AL Central, the Indians are leading the Twins. I am predicting the Twins to win that division in real life. And then obviously back in our division, it looks like Trout and the Angels with this new revamped offense of theirs. I guess it's not revamped, but they did sign a big free agent, and it looks like it has paid dividends to them. They are on top of the AL West. So let's just look at some of the top performers here around the league. Looks like Nelson Cruz, he always seems to be in MLB The Show. He always seems to lead the league in home runs, at least be like top 3. He's one of those guys that you just want on your team just because you know he can hit the big fly, and he's really good here in this game. Mike Trout is up there with batting WAR. I guess that's realistic. Ronald Acuna is up there with batting WAR in the National League, along with Bellinger, and Christian Yelich was up there as well. So we are just getting near kind of the middle of the season, close to All-Star break. And this is when we are going to start selling our guys. Mark Trumbo, though, we signed him in free agency. He is not doing well at all. And I think, it's time for a change at first base. I think it's been a good experiment, I would say. But I think that Trumbo is not hitting for average. And you're not expecting a 4-hitter to hit for average, but you would expect at least like 250. I mean, it's just something like that. And just looking at our payroll, not a lot of guys are locked up long term. I love David Bodie's contract, $3 million across the next 5 years. That is amazing, because if he goes on a tear, I mean, he's gonna probably be underpaid a little bit, so it will hurt his morale. But still, I mean, I think that's a pretty fair deal for us, especially a team that has a pretty small budget. So let's look at Cy Snead, another guy in our organization that we kind of tried out at the MLB level. He went 0-7 in 8 starts. I mean, the guy just couldn't play. And then Framber Valdez out of our bullpen. Now, he is B potential. He is only 26, another lefty. His attributes say he's a great pitcher, but his stats don't. He's at a 186 whip. That is super high. So I'm going to try to deal some of these guys and just try to get some return back. I want to add some more depth to our infield organization in the infield. And you just saw the draft that we had last episode. And let's just add to the fielders' depth. So we are going to trade 2 B potential prospects here with these 2 pitchers. And I'm hoping to get some good return. Let's start with Hoy Young Park. Now, this guy is stuck behind a trio of second basemen in the Yankees organization. So this is actually a guy that probably could be on the move in real life as well. I mean, this is a guy that looks pretty good, 72 overall, C potential, 23 years old. I mean, he's very young. He's got great skills all around. I really like him. And then looking at first base, I look at Mike Ford as a pretty good project guy. He hasn't had a full season under his belt, so he has good power as well from the left side of the plate. Only 68 overall, but B potential. I mean, I'll take that. And we will also throw in a center fielder, J.J. Smith, to just kind of put us over the top. And the Yankees will accept that trade. So we trade 2 B potential, 26-year-old pitchers, and we get a good, solid infielder who Hoy Young Park is actually hitting .354 at the AA level. We will keep him there because if he keeps tearing it up, he's going to progress really quickly. And hopefully he develops into a guy that we can use in this franchise. So what's funny is that right away, he's already one of the best overall guys in our infield organization wise. And I mean, I just want to see him develop. I'm not going to rush him up or anything. But let's just hop into some gameplay. Let's check out some of these new acquisitions here in this game, especially Mike Ford. Let's see what he can do as we are taking on the Orioles. They only have 18 wins up to this point. And here is Scooter Gennett in the first inning. He will start us out with the hit to the right side. That one will bring up David Bodie here in the 3-hole, hitting .256 on the year. He gets a pretty good pitch to hit, but it's going to be just it's kind of like a liner, a pretty high line drive on that one, and that is going to be the second out. So up comes a new guy, Mike Ford, who hits a pitch to the left center gap in his first ever at bat with the Kings, and that one will get all the way to the wall. And we're going to wave Scooter. Why not? Send him home. He's only got 25 speed. He slides, and he's out by like 3 steps on that one. And that's the only downside to Scooter. I wish he had speed. He is locked up for the next 3 years. So hopefully, I don't know what I'm going to do with him, to be honest, because I'm going to need some speed in the middle infield. I mean, it's a given. It comes with it. Unless you're a power hitting middle infielder. I mean, not a lot of middle infielders don't have speed. So let's just hop into the defensive portion of this inning as Clay Buchholz is on the mound for us, pitching really well this season. 6-5, a pretty good surprise. So up comes Trey Mancini in the 3-hole, and he will strike out on the off-speed pitch that time, low in the zone. And we do get out of that first inning. So we move on to the second inning. Here's Leonys Martin at the plate, and he's going to drive one deep. And that one is going to be a home run here for the away team, the Kings. And Leonys Martin makes it 1-0 here in this game. That one was smoked. And there we go, starting out this game with a nice home run. As we move on to the bottom of the third inning, here's Austin Hayes at the plate. He gets a pitch to hit up in the zone, and he's going to take Clay Buchholz into the bullpen. That is a home run. And the Orioles strike right back in the next inning. And now that brings up Austin Wynns in the 8th hole, hitting .247 on the year. He does the exact same thing. That's back-to-back home runs for the Orioles. And now they take the 1-run lead. This is not a good Orioles team. Just remember, they only have 18 wins up to this point. That is the worst record in the MLB. But they do take the 2-1 lead here in this game. So let's move on to the 5th inning. Here is Clint Frazier at the plate. He's been hitting really, really well for us. I have moved him up to the 4-hole and the 4 or 5-hole. And I think that I might move him up to 2 because he has better speed than Scooter Gennett. And also he hits the ball well. I mean, he doesn't strike out a lot. He makes good contact. He has good power all around. Now with Mike Ford being at the 4-hole, I think I can move Clint Frazier up to the 2-hole. So now here is Mayfield at the plate, who is kind of a platoon infielder. He strikes out to make it 2 outs in the inning, bringing up our catcher, Garrett Stubbs, who waits back. And he hits one up the middle. That one should score our second run of the game, and it will. So 2-2 here in the 5th inning versus the MLB's worst team here. And that's going to bring up Kyle Tucker, who is 0 for 2 in this game. And he will fly out, swinging at a pitch out of the zone. Got jammed a little bit. And that one will bring us to the bottom of the 5th inning. So up comes Austin Hayes, who already went deep in this game. He hits one up the middle, and Bodie cannot field it cleanly. And that is going to be a hit. Remember, he's not a natural shortstop. He is a third baseman. And now they got a man on first base here with 1 out. A hit to the right side. And now they got guys on first and second. Scooter Gennett could not get to that ball. So Chris Davis up to the plate. Used to be one of the best players in the Orioles organization. But there he drives one deep. That one is over that gate in right field. 438 feet. That was crushed. And Clay Buchholz just hung one up there. And there it is. A 5-2 lead here for the Orioles. And that's going to bring up Ramon Urias at the plate. And he's going to hit one to right center. And that one is going to make it all the way to the warning track. We will play it off the wall. And Urias will stop at second base. But now 2 outs. This inning is still not over. That's going to bring up Trey Mancini in the 3-hole. He hits one down the right field line out of the outstretched glove of Mike Ford, who actually is a pretty good fielder. But look at this. Clint Frazier plays it off of the wall wrong and bobbles it, and he gets it to the cutoff man, but it's going to be a triple here, maybe a double with an error on that one. But now they got a man on third base. It's 6-2 now, but we do get the next batter to strike out. but they strike with the 4-run inning there in that inning. And now we move on to the top of the 6th. Here's Scooter Gennett at the plate. He hits one to left center. That one will make it to the wall. He's only got 25 speed. Trust me, we are not going to send him at all on a base hit or anything because that 25 speed already proves that it's not good. So David Bodie at the plate. He hits a chopper up the middle, and that one will advance Scooter to third base. But we need a lot more than 1 run. Let's see what our new acquisition, Mike Ford, can do with the man on third base. He already had an opportunity to drive in a run earlier. Then this one, he drives deep to left field. That one is going to be gone out of the left field wall, and that is going to be 375 feet to opposite field. Actually, his first home run of the season. Welcome to the team. He was not a starter on the Yankees. He is going to start for us, though, and he trims this lead down to just 4-6. But now there is Clint Frazier. He does line out, and they do get out of that inning as we move on to the bottom of the 7th. Here is Pat Neshek on the mound. He is facing a good batter at the plate, and another shot off the wall. This Orioles team has showed up with their bats this game. Another extra base hit for Austin Wynns. So that's going to bring up Chris Davis to the plate here in the 9-hole. He's already went deep, and that's going to be a grounder to Scooter, who does recover and gets the out at first base. But this top of the lineup does roll over as Jose Iglesias comes up. Hits one up the middle with the infield in, and that one will sneak through. 7-4 here for the Orioles. Not the game we were looking for versus the MLB's worst team. And who knows? I mean, we could be the MLB's worst team and just putting together some wins. But now 7-4 here with Orioles at the plate. He will swing and miss at an inside off-speed pitch. And that will bring up Trey Mancini here. And he hits one to the right center gap again with the runner on the move and a 3-2 count. 2 outs. And that one will score another run, another extra base hit. And that one will be 8-4 as we bring in Brian Abreu. Maybe a guy we should be considering trading because he is a potential guy. He is in his mid-20s. He's young too. And I think that we could get a good return on value for him. But we'll have to see because we do want to keep some of these guys. As we move on to the 9th inning, there is Clint Frazier at the plate. You can just see what I'm talking about. He hits the ball hard. If you hit the ball hard and put it in play, you have a chance to get on base. So there is Martin at the plate. He walks. So now they bring in Miguel Castro out of the bullpen. And let's see if he can shut us down as Jack Mayfield comes up. I have not been able to hit anything at all with Jack Mayfield. Let's see if that one will continue. Nope. Swing and miss. Outside slider. And that's going to bring up Garrett Stubbs, who is 2 for 2 in this game. He gets a low pitch, and that is just the ground ball. And that one will end it versus the Orioles. They come away with the victory, but I did like what I saw from Mike Ford. He was 2 for 4. I mean, that was some gap power there, even hitting that home run. I mean, that showed me some things. Going to left field, going to opposite field, that is definitely a pretty good trait to have as a lefty, and especially trying to make an impression on this team. So you can see we are getting closer and closer to the month of July as we start the month of June. And here we are in a critical situation, down by 1 run. Here is David Bodie at the plate, facing the Texas Rangers. That one gets over the right fielder's glove, and we will hold up the runner at third base. Hopefully he gets back, and he is. Ooh, barely in safe. That was Kyle Tucker and David Bodie. Guys on second and third here. Look who's up. It's Mike Ford with 2 outs, and he does get beamed in the back. And now we have an opportunity. A base hit could score 2 runs. Melky Cabrera at the plate, down by 1 run. A 1-1 count. He hits one to left field. Let's see if it gets down. And it does, over the outstretched glove of the left fielder. And that is going to be the ball game. So we do recover nicely from that Orioles series, and we get the win versus the Texas Rangers. 8 hits put together in this game, and we still got the win. And Scooter Gennett went 3 for 4 in that game. Unfortunately, we do drop 2 of 3, including a 13-0 loss in the previous game versus the Rangers. And now we find ourselves in a similar situation versus the White Sox. Let's go into the 9th inning. So here is Mike 4 to start out this inning. He's going to hit one to the left side, and that one will be a single here with one out. And that brings up the man of the hour who just won the last game. Here's Melky Cabrera. He gets a hanger, hits one down the right field line, and it's going to be a double play as they do tag us up there. And now we move into the bottom of the 11th. Here is David Bodie at the plate. He's been hitting the ball well, and he hits one up the middle. And that one will be a single here with 2 outs here in the 11th inning. Now that's going to bring up Tim Beckham. He has raised his average quite a bit at 251 now. 1-2 count. He hits one deep. It's going to have some carry on it. Let's see what it's got. And it will sneak over the left field wall. Tim Beckham walks it off. 2 walk-offs here in this episode. The 7th home run from Tim Beckham. And that is going to be a great victory. And that's what I want to see. I'm not going to tank. I am not going to tank at all. I'm going to give it all I got in these games. I'm not going to trade away all of my good players. I do want to acquire good assets for our future, but I still want to be competitive. And I like to see victories like that where we gut it out there in the late innings, and that was a good win, 7-6. So looking at the rest of the month of June, we do have a little bit of an easier slate. Now we go up against the White Sox again. We win 8-2. So that was a good victory. Let's see if we win the 3rd game in this set. And look at this, up 4-3. Let's see if we can complete the sweep. This will be the first ever sweep in the Kings history. And we do. We get the win, 4-3. So we do sweep the Chicago White Sox for the first ever sweep. But then we go up against the Seattle Mariners, who are also a bottom-feeding team. And here is Mitch Haniger at the plate here in the bottom of the 9th. And we end up getting that win, 4-1. So we split with them. And we're actually not doing bad. 30-43. That's not too bad, especially with the roster that we have. But then we end up dropping 2 of 3 to the Oakland Athletics, get brought right back down to earth. And then we go into a quick manage situation against the Minnesota Twins. Like I said, the team that I predict to win the AL Central in real life, I think they have a really good team. They had a really good team last year as well. And I'm predicting that they will do pretty well. So we do put Jose Urquidy on the mound in this one, and he pretty much goes the distance and gets the win. 8 2/3 inning pitched, and David Bodie gets player of the game here. 2-0 versus the Minnesota Twins. That's a good win. I really like what I'm seeing from this team as of late. Going into All-Star break, we are about 11-12 games under 500. I think that is very, very good, especially with the talent that we've had, the talent that we've acquired, and just looking at who is doing well. Armenteros is kind of got brought back up to earth because he was pitching really, really well with a good whip. Now his whip's at 150. But I highlighted earlier that Brian Abreu is a guy that we might want to explore trading because he is a potential. He is only 22 though. I don't know about giving up on him this early, but look at that whip. I mean, that is just ridiculously high. And I don't know, maybe we just rushed him up a little bit, but we didn't really have a choice, to be honest. Like, these guys, we didn't have much talent on the roster, so we might want to develop him just a little bit more. But the rest of our starting rotation definitely needs some help. I think that's kind of a weak spot on our team right now, our starting rotation. Clay Buchholz has definitely been a surprise, but he's not going to be a number 1, even a number 2, not even probably a number 3 in an actual rotation. He's probably a 4 or 5 guy. So we'll have to do some evaluation as the trade deadline approaches and see what we want to do. Like I said, I'm not going to make a ton of trades. I'm going to be realistic with this franchise. I'm not going to spam it at all. I'm not going to do anything to sign big players. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. I mean, I'm going to be realistic. Who's going to sign with a team that just started in the MLB? That's how I'm going to approach free agency when the offseason hits. We don't have a ton of money to spend, so we'll have to see. So next episode, I am going to be looking at the All-Star games, but look at all of our Double-A talent. Everybody's doing well. I am really, really encouraged by the progression of these guys. A lot of these guys. Justin Thompson is progressing really, really nicely. I do want to see Forrest Whitley get a little bit better. You can see he's not even on the list here for the Texas League starters for our AA affiliate. And then just looking at the MLB All-Star voting, it looks like none of our guys are really even close at all. And like I said, I think that Kyle Tucker still has the highest batting average on the team. I'll have to double check that. But, I mean, we're just not doing well on the offensive end at all. Joe Smith is probably going to be our one lone all-star here this season. So at the end of this episode, we end up 32-45. Not bad at all, to be honest. I thought we would be way worse than this. So I'm actually encouraged. Our away record is 18-19. I mean, that is really, really surprising. Our home record is 14-26. Now that's weird. But look at everybody else's away record. 25-15 for the Angels. I mean, that's incredible. Everybody's doing better on the road than at home. So that's going to do it here in this episode. Next episode, we will highlight the All-Star games and maybe a little bit of action after that. So hit subscribe, hit that like button. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.
I be trying to do me, but they be trying to copy though. Only problem with that is they not me though. People act cool, but really they be shysty though. They say they got your back, but they ain't even behind me though. I be low key, but police be trying to find me.